Alright everybody, so with Marvel's Secret Wars coming at us very soon, I figure over the next couple of weeks it'd be very interesting to kind of make some videos breaking down and talking about my thoughts behind some of the things we're going to be getting here. There's obviously a lot, so with that in mind, we're just going to go straight into this, and the first one we're going to be looking at is Civil War. Now this is going to be a different take on Civil War than what you've seen before and what you might have read and what you know. So the original was actually made by Mark Millar, who's of course very famous for a lot of the comics he's done these days, and it was of course one of these mega popular miniseries that pretty much changed the way we looked at comics, the Marvel Universe, and it brought a lot of people, including myself, back into comics. Now this one is actually going to have Charles Soule doing it. Now Charles Soule has been very instrumental in a lot of the most popular Marvel comics today, so this should be very exciting. Now despite everything that's happened, this is actually aimed at a lot of newcomers for Civil War and a lot of people that might be interested in Civil War the film, so you can see it's going to be a little more accessible in that nature. Now how they are pitching is of course very similar to the original. If you look at the idea that the story had, Iron Man thought that superheroes should have to register with the government, become like a special police force almost, where the government has to know their identities and they're being controlled. Captain America on the other hand thought that they were restricting their freedoms and what the country stands for, and in that way he actually was saying this is a security breach, you're stepping on our freedom, we don't like that. And so what they're saying is here they're going to explore that and be expanding on it at a larger level. Now what that means we don't know yet, but I guess they'll reveal more as the time comes. Now what they see here is very interesting. He says that the Registration Act has already passed at this point where the comic series is going to take place, and the world is drastically changed based on a superhero war. Now does this sound like it's maybe something different instead of like an explosion happening that affects school and something like that? It could be. He says it's a huge story and involves every Marvel character there is, so this is definitely you can tell they're taking a different take on it, but it does sound like it could be a bigger global threat than what it was originally to start the Registration Act. And then they end the pitch for this by saying the idea is to take the original event and spin it into entirely new stories, telling new ideas and how would I explore this section, so which does sound pretty awesome. I'm definitely excited for this. I definitely want to see what the bigger global threat and superhero war is, so I should be keeping my eyes on it, and make sure you guys stay tuned here because we'll definitely be covering it. Now the next one we're going to be talking about is X-Men centric. This is of course the Age of Apocalypse is returning to Secret Wars. Now Age of Apocalypse is a series that should interest many, mostly the X-Men fans, because the way they are spinning this right now is that all the major characters are still alive, allowing the creative team to make full use of the entire Age of Apocalypse cast. Now what he says here is very interesting, because he says in many ways the world I'm writing is very different from the originals, but in many ways it's exactly the same. I feel like I'm getting a chance to have my cake and eat it too, regarding the positives and the original story and everything that kind of happened. Now this to me automatically sparked some interest. What could he mean by that? Like is there going to be some sort of exact retelling of the exact story, but just including more characters, or are they going to completely kill off different characters and try to make Apocalypse something else, add some new Horsemen or something? We really don't know, but just from the way he's talking about it, it does sound like it's going to be different yet kind of keep familiar, so maybe just keep the story beats the same, but maybe introduce different characters in the roles that they had originally. Whatever it could be, I'm definitely interested in this, and God knows X-Men could use some interest this day and age in comics. And next up, for all you Spider-Man fans, this should be one you're going to want to keep your eyes on, because Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows is coming at us, and yeah, this could be one of those things where it's actually exactly what people wanted, and all those years ago, and could be a lot of backlash being, why do we have to get all this bullcrap leading up to finally getting the story we wanted? And what I mean by that is, the pitch for this is, if you are one of the people that's pissed off by one more day and everything being undone, well, Dan Slott has you covered, because he's going to expand on the story of what if that actually didn't get wiped out? You know, what if they did have a daughter and he's trying to juggle being a superhero and having family responsibilities? And this, to me, automatically, that's a sell right there, because Peter Parker growing up and not being, you know, the same old as he has been for the last 50 years is exactly what I want. Now, what the big thing they talked about here was that Dan Slott confirmed that this is actually going to take place in the core of the Amazing Spider-Man series during the duration of the Secret Wars, and this will actually impact the Spider-Man comic going after. So my idea is this actually going to be put back into continuity? Therefore, as we've seen Miles Morales coming over with the all-new, all-different, you know, Avengers, is he going to now be the core Spider-Man while Peter Parker takes on a more family life and a mentor role, which sounds pretty damn awesome. Out of all the series I've been looking at, this is definitely the one that's highest on my list, just to see how the character would have resulted if they never retconned that great, you know, moment where he does evolve finally into being a parent and, you know, grown up Peter Parker. So I'm super excited. So that is the 3 issues or 3 series we covered in this video, guys. I will be back with more, and I want you guys to let me know, what do you guys think of these 3? Which one are you most excited for? And, you know, just how do you feel about the changes they're doing in these series as opposed to the originals? Thank you for watching this video, and if you would like to see some of the other great comic book reviews we got from Marvel or DC Comics, make sure you check out these annotations right here. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.